Work comp insurance is something that benefits both the employer and the employee. Of course, for the employee, if he or she becomes injured on the job, they're able to pay for their medical bills and have some lost wages, about 2/3 of their lost wages paid for out of the work comp insurance. It protects the employee or the employer because it provides coverage for the employee, so they won't be liable for those medical damages in case they're negligent, and that's really discussion for another day. Um, but the primary purpose of the work comp policy is to protect the employee should they become injured. Um, Work comp insurance is something that can be a very large expense for an employer. How these work comp rates are determined are depending on what type of job or operation the employee is doing, and the likelihood that the employee would become injured. The insurance companies develop rates based on how risky that particular operation is. So if it's something a little more of a risky operation, such as a roofer, a carpenter, the rates are going to be a little bit higher for that work comp coverage because there's a higher likelihood they could become injured and have a claim against the policy. If it's a operation such as a say a clerical person, salesperson, somebody that is typically you know doing office work, the rates are going to be much lower. Insurance companies base the rates on what a price, like a price per hundred. So for a clerical person, it costs about 25 cents for every $100 of payroll. For a roofer, it costs about $60 for every $100 of payroll. So as you can see, if you have a lot of payroll, your work comp insurance is going to be rather expensive. There are, of course, ways that you can save on insurance if you are an experienced business. You've been around for a number of years and you have a good history. You might be deemed as have good safety practices. You might have a good experience with not having many claims. Well, in that case, you'll be eligible for additional discounts in the insurance business. They're called credits that can be applied to your work comp policy. You also might have something called a behavior modification factor. If you're paying over $5,000 a year in work comp insurance, you likely have a behavior modification factor. This we find is not all the time applied to your policy, and it really should be. That can be done by the insurance company or the insurance agent that you're working with. So it helps to work with a insurance company and a agency or an agent that has experience working with work comp. Not all insurance companies are great at writing work comp policies. Some write it, but some are more geared for it, and they know how to write it, and they know how to write it well. They know how to evaluate a business and determine if they're a good risk and if they can qualify for lower rates. So my advice would be make sure that you connect with an insurance agent or an agency or an insurance company that has a strong background in writing work comp insurance. A lot of agents can write work comp insurance, but they don't all know what they're doing. So you want to have somebody that is able to qualify your business and evaluate and have good insurance companies to work with to place your work comp policy. You might find that you can save thousands of dollars and have the exact same type of policy just by working with an insurance agent and insurance company that that specializes in writing work comp insurance.